Hello, I'm Maria Ramirez, and I'm about to share with you 10 confessions of a Generation Xer. Generation X has been defined as the people that were born between 1965 and 1980. It was first defined by this beautiful book by the Canadian author Douglas Coupland. Why is it important to communicate with Generation X? The fact of the matter is that most of managers, presidents, VPs, and directors belong to this generation. So if you want to get ahead in your career, it's time you learn how to read them and how to communicate with them, with us actually. Tip number 1, the difference in the meaning of information and data. Have you ever heard a Generation X tell you that there's power in information? For the new generations, it's fairly easy. Everything's a Google away. If you have doubts, if you don't know something. But for us, we had to memorize things in school. We had to memorize things in university. Getting information from the different meetings and the people that we knew, there was power in that. So if you ever feel that a fellow Generation Xer or somebody from my generation is a bit anxious or they don't want to share information with you, you need to understand why. Information for the new generation, it's something that comes fairly easy. For my generation, it wasn't. Tip number 2. We were probably the first generation to work in whatever we wanted to work. We chose the industries that we wanted to go into. The truth is that our parents and our grandparents could stay at the same company, at the same job for all or most of their lives. But the truth is that we got to one point where stability was a big thing for us. So you're gonna see a lot of Generation Xers staying at a job for 5, 10, 15, or even 20 years. So corporate stability is a big thing for us. I know it's not a big thing for millennials, but it is for Generation X. Number 3, it took us a long time to get where we are. But we're gonna defend our space and we're gonna defend our status as hard as we can. The thing is, speed these days is very different from what it used to be. It took us 5, 10, or even 15 years to get to where we wanted to get, to the position where we wanted to get. A manager, a director, a VP, a president. So it's kind of different. And we also think that it's worth waiting, which is something really hard for millennials to understand. But we value the waiting. Number 4, traveling was a result, not a lifestyle. We wanted stability. We wanted to have our house, our car, corporate stability, a job before we started traveling the world. Number 5, we honestly do not understand the oversharing that goes on in social media. We're willing to share with our family and friends, but to put absolutely everything we do, we eat, every single place we visit, we travel, to put absolutely everything on social media, that's something we sometimes just don't understand. What about having a private life? That's the way we see it. Number 6, emails versus chats. Formality versus instant communication. We need to have everything formally written in an email. All the points, the proposals, all the details. We don't understand the informality of chats or texts to close deals or to give out information. So please, be patient. Sometimes we need formality. Number 7, we weren't born with technology, but we're not that dumb with it either. For us, it's a tool, not a lifestyle. Big difference. Number 8, we firmly believe in corporate structures, the way the information has to trickle down and trickle up. It's really hard for us to understand. When information gets shared so democratically, it's difficult to understand. I think this point goes back to my first point about information. For us, information was power, so holding information was very important to us. Number 9, we feel it's really important to share all the facts, to tell a story, and then reach the conclusion. For us, there's value in facts, and don't feel like we're lecturing you and telling you what to do. We just feel that we need to share this information, share the facts before we get to the conclusion. So please, be patient. Number 10, MTV versus streaming. As you all know, MTV defined a generation. It defined Generation X. For the first time ever, we had access to music and videos. MTV was crucial to tell us, to let us know what the trends were, what music we should be consuming. Nowadays, there's about 1 million options to discover music, to discover fashion, to discover traveling. So it's really hard to understand having all these options for us. And now it's time for my bonus track. I want to highly recommend a movie called The Internship. This movie represents a perfect example of how in the corporate world, we Generation Xers, we need to get along with millennials. So you have technology versus people skills and innovation versus experience. There's a couple of scenes in the movie that truly represent this. One is when they're developing the app that they need to get in order to get the internship at Google, and the technology knowledge that the millennials bring into the app is crucial for them to develop it. But it was the Xers that identified the need in the market, that were able to read what the audience really needed. So it was this combination that resulted in the winning app of the challenge. And the second scene of the movie is right at the end of the movie when they are at the last challenge and they have to go out and sell Google ads and bring in new clients to the company. It is the millennials' information on technology and how the app works and how the ads work that is crucial for them to sell the ads. But again, it's the Xers with their people skills that were able to close the deal and read what the client really needed. So you see, at the end of the day, we need to complement one another. We need to work as a team. We just need to learn how to communicate better. Thank you for witnessing the Confessions of an Xer. I hope you got some insight into what my generation is all about. If you like this information and you want to continue getting some updates on this, please click here and I'll see you next time.
Darling.